For years, we've been warned about Epstein and his terrible ways, his trafficking, his terrible abuse of young children, and the involvement of many others from high society in these events. We've heard these types of accusations from people like Mel Gibson, Jim Carrey, Roseanne Bar, but we've ignored them until now. I want to look back on some of these moments that we just let fly over our heads and claim these people for being crazy or just jokesters, and then see how we feel about it right now. Then, towards the end of this video, I have something that's going to blow your mind that just came out today. Let's start out with Mel Gibson.
You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
Right.
And nobody was really bothering to explain it to me.
They don't.
And and I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be.
The things that he was hearing were so crazy, and the things that he was seeing were so crazy that he could not even fathom it. He's sharing this information with us years ago, and we just looked at him and said, this guy's nuts. We never actually looked into what went down. Let's continue.
Because a whole place can't be like, you know, Weird Town, you know, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them and they tell you don't go into the house on the hill, and it's like that. And then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it? And then you find out later on the track that you are exactly on track with a lot of this stuff. Not specifically on track, but that you could, that some of your worst nightmares were real.
Now we have Jim Carrey, who we haven't spoken yet on the channel, on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. And this one's a little bit more in depth, and he's kind of making a joke, but really not making a joke. Let's tune in.
You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is.
All right, so he's making a joke. Everyone thinks that it's some perverted type thing, but really, he's talking about Illuminati directly following up with Epstein-related things without actually saying it.
Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy.
And he's calling out Jimmy, saying, Jimmy, you know what it is. But Jimmy is, as you can see, laughing it off, and of course not going to say that he does.
Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
So, many people just think he's just making jokes about the Illuminati, and this is all just an act. I mean, it's Jim Carrey, after all, who's a massive comedian, who's actually quite funny. There's a lot of depth behind this man, and he continues on.
I like it. It is a scraping.
It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? Like, for years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on.
All right, so he does sound like a little conspiracy theory-like right there. And because of that, it probably made people believe, oh, he's a little bit off his rocker, or he's just making a joke. And of course, he is presenting this in a humorous type of way. After all, he's a guest on a show, but he's telling the truth.
You know, when they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things, and, you know, and... You know, look at him trying to cover it up. It's hilarious. And, you know, and I'm sick of, hold on a second.
See, he's just not admitting it. He goes to his phone, makes another joke, and then the segment ends. But Jim Carrey was a little bit more straightforward in this one.
Kidnapping children is not what great nations do. Hatred of immigrants, contempt for the truth, greed, and the abuse of power. There is a sinister deep state diabolically plotting to what? We in America are misinformed. Reality shows have warped our idea of what a hero is, or what the truth is.
So as you could see right here, back in 2018, when accepting his award, he was directly combating these issues that we're talking about today regarding trafficking and Epstein himself. And then there's Roseanne Barr, who goes straight forward and dives right into the topic.
You know they eat babies. That is not bullshit. It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats, not just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats.
And you see right here, the host is kind of making a joke about it. He's not taking it seriously. And of course, no one is looking at Roseanne Barr right now and saying, uh-oh, should we be concerned about this?
They're full-on vampires. And everybody still thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. They're full-on vampires. They love the taste of human flesh and they drink human blood. They do. By the time we go in to vote for Trump, that he will open up everybody's eyes and they will stop pretending to be asleep.
All right, that's very important because right there, it teases what we're going to be going into in just a few moments as we get towards the end of the video, something that literally just landed today that you're not going to want to miss. But before we get to that, I want to show you one more thing that Roseanne Barr had to say when on The Benny Show.
We saw with our own eyes what they do. We saw what they do. I mean, the last Hollywood party I went to, I won't mention the person's name, but everyone was there. It was A+, whatever the hell, all the movie stars. And in comes a big movie star, and with him, his date, who was a 12-year-old boy. Okay, everybody was in their corners going, and I went, Lord, help me find my keys and get to my car. I had been drinking, like always. But I go, Lord, help me get my keys and get to my car and get the holy hell out of here and make it home safely.
See, it's not being hidden. She is directly calling out. Now, large celebrities, in this case, a male that was unnamed, coming to an event with a 12-year-old boy as a date. But we ignored all of this for years, and we looked at many of these celebrities as if they were crazy, and we held all of the other celebrities who were doing these terrible things up on a pedestal as if they were the highest in high society. And when I say celebrities, I also mean politicians and people with essentially a lot of money. But something just dropped today regarding our president. Let's take a look at this.
So why are Republicans so interested in Bill and Hillary Clinton? It's because they're trying to distract from the fact that Donald Trump is in the Epstein Files thousands and thousands of times.
Okay, now we know this. We know that Trump's name was in the Epstein Files a ton. He also claims that there were no Epstein Files, and then he claimed that he was the one that was exposing the Epstein Files. So a lot of different things were said. But just because your name is in the files, that doesn't necessarily mean that you did anything wrong. You just were mentioned in emails and documents and things of that nature, but it goes a lot deeper.
In those files, there's highly disturbing allegations of Donald Trump raping children, of Donald Trump threatening to kill children.
Now, these are things that are being said, but that I want to see. I want to see the evidence. Is this actually happening? And then when we look back at Roseanne Barr saying that she needs President Trump to come to make all this come to light, it seems that she didn't know that allegations like this would come to be. She probably didn't know that they were going on, if they can actually be proven.
So I encourage your press to go look at these allegations, and I'm highly disturbed that Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche just got the law wrong. Yesterday, he said, essentially, that it is not a crime to party with Jeffrey Epstein. Well, that's actually not correct. If Jeffrey Epstein was human trafficking minors for these sex parties, and you show up and patronize the establishment at that party, yes, you're guilty, because patronizing is part of the law of the federal sex trafficking.
Is it against the law, and should someone be held accountable for attending events where these terrible activities went on. I want you guys to let me know down below your thoughts. Now, if you think all of this is crazy, check out these two videos that go even deeper down the rabbit hole.